currently working on getting approval for medication for COVID-19 as well. Right now, the only treatment for COVID-19 is, guess what? Antibodies. So they literally created antibodies in a lab, and if you have COVID-19 and you meet certain criteria, you will qualify to get an infusion of antibodies. So they will give you antibodies in addition to the antibodies your body already has. Which leads me back to the question about the booster. They can go in, like say I've been immunized, right? I'm immunized. And they can check my blood and see what the level of antibodies are in my system, right? So now I got my second immunization, I want to say, back in February. Like I'm probably due for my booster here, like very soon. That level of antibodies was going to be at its highest 2 weeks after I got my second shot. Over time, the level of antibodies decreases. And you have less protection if you have less antibodies. That is the reason why there's the need for the booster. The way these vaccines work is they tell your body what these antibodies look like and how to make them. So that's the reason why you could have the Moderna or you could have the Pfizer as a booster, because your body's going to interpret it the same way and it's going to create antibodies. That's the reason why people who've gotten at least one dose, you need 2 doses, need 2 doses for full protection, but the 1 dose would actually cause your body to create antibodies. That's the reason why with the booster, you don't need to get 2 shots, you just need to get 1. That answer the question?
Yeah.
Yes, okay, we got one more. What we got?
I was reading that for people that were immunocompromised, that they may have to get a 4th shot after the 3rd shot.
Okay, so there's a little bit of confusion around this, and I know it's semantics and it's just kind of wordplay, but there's a 3rd shot and then there's a booster shot, and there's a difference. So for some of our immunocompromised patients, so at the community, especially Walgreens that I work at, we deal with a lot of patients who are transplant patients, right? And if you're a transplant patient, you have to take medication called anti-rejection meds to make sure that your body does not fight the transplant that's in you. So like say you have another kidney, right? You take these medications every month, but one of the things that it does is it decreases your immune response. So we just talked about how the immune system kicks in to get you to have the antibodies. They have found that most of the patients that are on anti-rejection medications, after 2 doses, they've not gotten that full immune response, so they need a 3rd dose, which is different than, say, someone like me who I'm not taking any anti-rejection meds. I got my 2 doses, I was fully immunized, but now it's time for a booster to increase the number of antibodies that I have available. That make sense? Yes, no?
Yep.
Yep, okay. Other questions? Yes.
My sister, she went to the University of Memphis, got some type of treatment. When she had COVID, she said she felt so much better. Something started with an I. They gave her, I don't know the name of it. But she said when she
I know ivermectin.
she felt much better.
So was it like a pill, or did she have to get something infused?
I think infused or something. They gave her the IV. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so what she got was most likely the antibodies, right? Because those antibodies, because they are, you have to literally make them, it's not a tablet that you can take or anything like that. It actually has to get infused into your bloodstream so it can be there to help your body's natural antibodies fight off the virus that's in your system. Great question. Other questions? Okay. All right. Well, if nobody else has any other questions, the one thing that I ask everybody to do is that if you've been immunized or if you've not been immunized, okay? If you've been immunized, I want you to find at least 3 people and tell them why you got immunized, right? What was your reason for being immunized? And if you've not been immunized, I ask that you go and find somebody that has been immunized and ask them why did they get immunized? Because that's something that I've been doing from the very beginning of this, because I stand here with my white jacket and I went to pharmacy school and I did this and I did that, but y'all don't know me. So you're not gonna necessarily believe me. But if your uncle, your cousin, your mama, your friend be like, hey man, I got that vaccine, you did? yeah, man, I'm like, my friend, they passed away from COVID and they didn't get vaccinated, and somebody living in their own house with them was vaccinated and they didn't get it, and they still alive. So like stories like that are way, way more powerful than anything you're gonna ever see on the news or anything that I would ever be able to tell you. So that's my ask for y'all is go out, share your story why you got vaccinated, and if you haven't been vaccinated, ask family and friends that have been vaccinated why they got vaccinated. Okay, that's done with the science stuff. Y'all can get back to the party now.